Today I will quickly talk about the feature which is building management in this project. And so this is a feature that so these are the features that make sure the building does not get duplicated or in the other building with the same system. And then so basically in this building management we are working with apartment like basic add, edit, delete, and then we also do import, export Excel with that. So yeah, so basically most of them has that all these four functions. Um, and so for the lease agreement, we have something different. We list all the lease, all the contract, and then we make sure we compare the end date for the lease, and so we can work out the available period for the next person. And then yeah, we compare the start date of the new lease to the uh, end date of the current one and stuff to see if we can get someone fill the room in between as well. So that's basically what we are doing with that list to make sure that we can see something happens. So resolve on contract is when you import the contract from Excel, then the people has been paid for it, so that mean doesn't want to put the invoice. So this is sort of like an automation that can help that contract become fresh and just resolve it. Um, yeah, and then the four basic functions. And so for invoice, we are doing so it's slightly more complicated when we get the data from the last invoice and then we reflect. So basically, this is for the rent calculations, and then if it um, mm, so yeah, no, we make sure it's not editable, so that to make sure that we don't double charge or anything like that. Um, yeah, and also printing the invoices for the client so that we can give the client as well. And then yeah, for utilities, so we just have the utilities costs like water, electricity, bills. So these are we write down the numbers, we calculate the measurements, and also based on the price, which is periodically update um, based on the price. Like the price can be up and down. So you can take the previous price for the previous measurements, and then the current price for the current measurement. So different charging in different periods have different price as well. So yeah, and then the final thing is like managing all the documentation, like IDs and stuff with the client. So yeah, that's an overall of the building management feature. So well, if we look at the code, so what we got is this so yeah, we got an edit. So basically these are just like very basic functions that of basic components. So to add, we just make it so the add and edit is fairly similar in terms of their functionality, but for the add we just contact the add, we still display the same form, and that's why it grab like all the field for the form, and then it just like yeah like put it through. While with the edit is it just um use the same form, but the difference is the edit component is going to populate the data before. So it just populate data, and then when the user put the data in, it just call the edit URL. So kind of like you can pass in the URL for it, and then at the end they still sending the form data. So yeah, so that's why these guys are being grouped together. And then yeah, so import export fairly um, fairly similar. Like you just have some data and being export and import as well. So overview of the export, and then resolve the lease, which is like we check the lease, all lease, which is done in the server. And so with documents, we have like handling the files. So this is slightly different to handling like a normal form. and so that's why it's a bit different there. And then with the invoice, so we say so yeah, with invoice we actually check out the range and stuff. So we look at the edit, and basically this is sort of like checking the range, the difference, to see if the rent is being paid or not, and so it changing some data and stuff. Yeah, so that's for the rent, and then it can print and then add periodically and stuff like that. So yeah, so we have three way we printing Excel, printing with PDF, and print with words. Well, with those. And so yeah, resolve all these is when we look at the rent and then we check out the utilities, which is for electric and water, because those we need to write down the numbers. So that's kind of what it does with the situation. Um, yeah, and then all the other one is for utilities, the Excel and the things. So yeah, that's basically a little bit of it about the this feature of building management. Um, yeah, well, thank you for watching, and I will see you then.